This is Nigel here, and welcome to another episode of System Shock Radio. I got some announcements for you guys, some pretty cool stuff happening, but I will wait till the end to talk about that stuff. But in the meantime, of course, if this is your first time and watching System Shock Radio, I hope you enjoy. And if not, if you're a returning viewer, I welcome you back. But let's get right into our topic. So I've got a few of them for you guys today. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is graduating from college. So yes, a few weeks ago I graduated from college. I got my bachelor's degree in computer information systems, and man, I am so happy, so excited, and so thrilled that I'm finally done with college. That my grades are great, and that I graduated and everything. It's such an incredible, exciting feeling. And as soon as I graduated, when I crossed the stage, sorry, my mic cut out, but when I crossed the stage and everything, it just felt like a big weight was being lifted off my shoulders. Truly an awesome and tremendous feeling. So, for everyone who's been with me at any point throughout the 4 year journey, thank you so much for your love and support. To everyone who congratulated me, thank you so much. You guys mean more to me than even words can say, and I'm happy to be done with school so I can go into my career and everything. So, oh, really, the sky's the limit from here, and I can't wait to see what's next in my life and everything. But next up, we're going to talk about who is going to be taking the championships from Roman Reigns. This in WWE has been the $1 million question. So at this point, Roman Reigns has been Universal Champion for, I think they said, like 900 days. So ever since Payback 2020, Roman Reigns has been on an absolute tear. He hasn't even been defeated yet. He now holds both the WWE and the WWE Universal Championships. He won them both in the title unification match at WrestleMania. So, who is going to... I do not know why my mic keeps cutting out. Oh, Mr. Mike, please stop doing that. But I have no idea who's going to be taking the title off of him. And this is a question: is there going to be someone who takes the title off him? Is he going to either get injured and have to relinquish the title? Is he going to retire as dual champion? I know he said he might want to pursue Hollywood like his cousin The Rock. So who is going to be the one to take the titles from him? There's a couple people that come to mind when I think about this. Now, the thing is with Roman, and this is kind of to his detriment, kind of a detriment to his reign, is that he's beaten a lot of competitors to the point where there's almost nobody left to actually take the titles from him. He's beaten Edge, he's beaten Daniel Bryan, he's beaten Kevin Owens, he's beaten Jey Uso. It looked like he was going to have a match with Jimmy Uso, but that fell through. It looks like that's not happening, and probably due to Jimmy Uso being arrested at the time and then him getting in trouble for that. It looks like the stuff with Matt Riddle and Randy Orton might be falling through, mainly because Randy Orton is injured at the moment. He's going to be taking some time off, and Matt Riddle's probably not gonna walk away with the titles anytime soon. Apparently, Matt Riddle is supposed to be challenging for the titles, but it looks like it's not happening at least yet. So, who's gonna be the one to do it? There's a couple people that do come to mind. The first is one's obvious. One is also kind of obvious, but not as obvious, I don't think. The first one that's kind of not as obvious, but it might still happen, is Cody Rhodes. Mainly because Cody Rhodes so far has been doing pretty good in his run. They've built him up pretty strong. He's in this feud with Rollins. He feels like a big deal. He's been all over programming and everything, so they're really building him up in a big way to potentially be the one to take the title from Roman Reigns. And the fact that that's one of the main reasons he came back apparently to WWE was to win the big one, win the world title that neither he nor his father nor his brother were able to do. Who this could be like his moment. And the other one, which I think is kind of obvious, but it's not a bad thing, is Drew McIntyre. Now, why Drew McIntyre? Why is that one obvious? For starters, out of everyone that Roman's already challenged, Drew McIntyre still like, and mostly everyone on the SmackDown roster, Drew McIntyre is like one of the only ones who feasibly can take the title from Roman. Of course, Drew, who had a big push a while back, like in 2020, winning the Rumble and the WWE Championship. But then that's the other thing is with this upcoming pay-per-view in the UK, Clash at the Castle, and Drew McIntyre officially challenging Roman there, it seems like they're probably going to give Drew the moment that he didn't get to have in 2020. So around when Drew McIntyre was supposed to face Brock Lesnar for the WWE title at WrestleMania, that's when the pandemic started, and that's when Drew McIntyre had to have his moment. He still won the title. It was a little too late to not pull the trigger on that, but it was in front of no crowd. People had to watch it from home. So, the thing that I'm sure WWE was going for, where Drew McIntyre wins, and there's this big ovation from the crowd. Sadly, they didn't get to have that because the pandemic. Nobody was able to be in there, and this is before they even had the extras, like the people in the back room, like the performance center. Her superstars come in and make like a makeshift crowd. This is still when there was like no crowd and everything. So, and this is also before like Thunderdome and stuff like that. And this was, like I said, this was around April. This was around when the pandemic first started. So, Drew McIntyre not having that moment, I'm sure, or it's a plan that ended up backfiring in WWE's face. So, perhaps they do want McIntyre to end up having that moment at Clash of the Castle so that he can have the big moment in front of the crowd and everything. And they talked about it, but why not have it in front of this crowd and beat Roman, who at this point has been on this absolutely incredible run as champion. He's been one of the top stars in the company, one of the top heels in the company. Why not have McIntyre win the big one? And right there, honestly, if McIntyre does really, and this is just my perspective on it, if McIntyre doesn't win, then I don't think there's anyone else who could feasibly win. McIntyre's like last line of defense, last resort. So if Drew somehow doesn't win at Clash of the Castle, then I guess that's it on options, unless they want to try like someone else get a second opportunity at it, like Kevin Owens. I'd like to see him have another run as Universal Champion. His run was pretty good. Or like Seth Rollins, he hasn't been World Champion in a while. Seth hasn't been World Champion since 2019, and that was the Universal title reign, which sadly wasn't that great. But yeah, I can't wait to see who ends up taking the titles from Roman. Now, another question to ask is it going to be for both titles, or is it just going to be for the one title? Now, the thing is, Drew and Roman are both on SmackDown, so it might be a case of Drew just taking the Universal title, or even taking both titles and then just vacating the one and then determine to crown new WWE champion. But also the thing is, with the brand split potentially being dissolved and everything, which reports have gone back and forth. Some say WWE wants to end the brand split. Some say WWE doesn't want to end the brand split. Perhaps it's a case of the brands being dissolved, so it's just going to be a unified champion running around, and they may combine the two titles, make a new undisputed championship design, and we've seen that type of design before. In fact, the new WWE championship we have is technically a unified championship when the WWE and the World Heavyweight Championships were combined. And we also saw in the past with the Undisputed Championship, the title that guys like JBL and Brock Lesnar had. So, but we'll see there. But let me know in the comments below who you guys want to see take the titles from Roman Reigns. But next, we're going to talk about game shows. I love game shows. Game shows are pretty fun. Game shows like Jeopardy or Family Feud or Wheel of Fortune, stuff like that. For some reason, I get some like entertainment and enjoyment. Although, oftentimes game shows are more associated with like older people, well, as they're watching them throughout the day and everything. I know my grandmother used to love watching game shows. It was before she passed, but game shows are pretty fun and pretty cool to see. And I've always thought about what would happen if I went on a game show. Would it be fun? Would I win lots of cash? What would happen? Um, it's stuff I thought about, but the game shows do seem pretty cool, and it's also pretty fun, not just for the contestants, but to play along at home. And when the contestants get like an answer wrong, you're like, "Come on, how'd you get that one wrong?" But like with a game show like Jeopardy, sometimes I feel like I should know these answers, and then when I don't, I'm like, "Oh, come on, man, I should have known that one." But um, if I did go on a game show, what game show would I want to be on? I feel like probably Family Feud would be a pretty fun one. Me and my family go on there. I think Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune would also be a pretty cool one as well. Price is Right, probably, even though I'm probably terrible at guessing prices and everything. But yeah, I'd love to be on a game show someday. Hey, hopefully, this is one of those things where you look back on it and you see me on a game show, and then you remember System Shock Radio episode 61. I talked about him wanting to be on a game show, and then now here he is, his wonderful thing. But the next thing I want to talk about is the PS5's lack of availability. This has been an ongoing issue since the PS5 launched, where the PS5 is hard to find, at least in terms of like regular price. There are PS5s out there or for sale that are being sold at like Walmart or I think GameStop was one of the other ones that had it, but they're all being sold at like these ridiculous prices, um, and they're sold for like thousands of dollars, and they're hard to find elsewhere, everywhere else, like GameStop or Target Hit or Best Buy, who's trying to sell them at regular price, don't seem to have any. And there's a couple reasons for that. The first is the scalpers. They came along and bought up all of them and then resell them at the higher prices, which is pretty annoying and is one of the reasons why I hate scalpers. I detest scalping and everything. But also, there is a chip shortage. So, the chip that the PS5 needs to operate, it's in very short supply, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of them out there. So, therefore, the PS5 can't be sold as much. At least with like the Xbox Series X, those are kind of hard to find, but they're a tiny bit easier to find as well. But the PS5s, I can't find them. So they said that this issue may not be resolved until 2024, which sucks. So if I want a PS5, which I do, either I'll have to hold out for a while, just a couple more years, or suck it up and pay the outrageously high price for that. But I've already determined I'm not doing that. I'm gonna pay regular retail price. I'll wait the couple years if I have to. But the final topic I want to talk about is trying new things. Now, there's a lot of things in life that I'm sure a lot of you haven't tried before, and sometimes you may be a bit hesitant to try it out because it's out of your comfort zone. It's not what you're familiar with and everything, so you may be a little hesitant to try it out. But sometimes, why is this cutting out? Sometimes you have to take the risk and try new things. You'll never know until you try it. For example, when I wanted to do the podcast and everything and try out the live videos and stuff, I wasn't sure how it would turn out, but I had to take the risk, and now I'm doing this for you guys, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. Also, sometimes you gotta step out of the comfort zone and try things, and within reason, of course. I'm not necessarily saying like drugs and stuff, because sometimes that stuff could mess you up. But I mean, new things like going new places, seeing new things, reading new things, trying things out, taking the risk, and seeing what's out there sometimes can pay off and can be very beneficial for you. So, try something new in your life and see how it works out. And not everything that you try out that's going to be new you're going to like, and that's a given because not everything is going to appeal to you or speak to you, but sometimes you gotta try out what's out there and see what it's all about. But without further ado, thank you all so much for watching. Just a couple quick announcements. I do not know why my mic keeps acting weird. Okay, but just a couple quick announcements. I am going to be going live either this week or next with Spyro 2. So I did Spyro 1 on Twitch. So next I'm going to be streaming Spyro 2 on Twitch. Now I'm going to try to, I do have a capture card, but I'm going to see if it works. And if so, then I can install my camera and stuff and be able to record my live reactions to everything that's going on with Spyro 2. Unfortunately, that's something I wasn't able to do with Spyro 1, but hopefully I'll be able to do it with Spyro 2. But so I'll try out with the capture card. I'm actually going to try to do it tomorrow. So what I'll do is I'll do like a little practice type stream. I'll probably just stream something not too taxing to play, like probably Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or whatever. But also Street Fighter 6 officially announced, and we saw some stuff from it at the PlayStation State of Play a couple days ago. So pretty cool to see. But yeah, so I'm gonna be trying out to see if I'm able to stream with the capture card. If so, great. If not, what I'll do is get the PlayStation camera. PlayStation does have a camera to where you can go live with it and record, so I'll use that to go live. But I do want to actually have my reactions and stuff to what's going on and stream games on Twitch with like a camera and everything, so you guys can see my reaction to things in real time. But the other thing is, starting next week, I am going to be doing System Shock Radio and Tales from the Labyrinth every week. So we're going to be going back to the every week format that I had in the past. So I did try to do bi-weekly just to sort of see the waters, and now I think I'm ready to go back to weekly and everything. So we are still going to do like the whole one pre-recorded, one live bi-weekly type thing. But so of course next week, excuse me, next week's episodes of System Shock Radio and Tales from the Labyrinth are going to be pre-recorded. But other than that, we're going to be going back to doing episodes like that. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I'll be doing a whole bunch of cool things, such as the reviews. I've done some wrestling reviews, I've done some movie reviews, I've done some video game reviews. I do the crime analysis videos as well. I think for the month of June, I am probably going to end up doing John Lennon, but I'm not entirely sure yet. And for my next wrestling review, which I'm going to try to do some more wrestling reviews for you guys, I'm going to be looking at Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio at WCW Halloween Havoc 1997. So stay tuned for that. That'll probably be coming at some point tomorrow or Tuesday, depending on when I watch the match and everything. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Peace.